Hello, another Q&A session here. I've been asked by one of my students called James Coty, whom I remember very well from last year. He sent me a question. I remember something you said on your London course last year about how you did therapy. You said that you would give your patient a double bind of therapeutic choices, which you would wrap in a suggestion for amnesia. Maybe you could say some more on that. Okay, firstly, I want to just mention that when I answer a question like this, the answer I give is appropriate to a question usually about a specific client. It doesn't mean it's a general answer to all that you could apply to all of your clients. I very much believe that every client is unique and that we need to create a custom tailor-made therapy for that client in the moment as we work with them. So this particular question, I don't remember the context in which I was asked that. So I mention that because it may be for a specific problem that James was asking about, or it may be much more general. But let me just talk about this whole idea of double binds and amnesia. Well, first of all, a double bind, as many of you will probably know, is, if you like, it's an illusionary choice. It's where we give somebody a choice of things to choose from, and whichever they choose, they end up going in the direction that we want them to go. And in terms of therapy, that is usually a therapeutic direction. So a therapeutic double bind will be giving someone a choice. And either way, the client or patient thinks they've got this choice, free will to do so. Whatever they choose, they're going to end up, resolving their problem or moving towards the resolution of their problem. No one really likes to be told what to do. If someone tells you all the time, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you do this. There's a point where human nature says, okay, well, up to a point, but okay, I want to be able to choose myself. So the benefit of a double bind is it gives that client or patient the chance to actually believe they're choosing something. And when they do that, they're more willing to accept because they've actually personally made their own choice, but without knowing really what they've actually signed up for in terms of the outcome. So we use double binds quite a lot in therapy, and there are various language patterns that we use to be able to deliver these double binds. But I'm not talking about the language patterns here, I'm talking about the concept of double binds, number one. Number two, amnesia. Some people think, well, why would we need to give a client amnesia? Well, we don't always need to, of course, but if we feel the client could possibly sabotage the therapy or sabotage a suggestion or an idea or whatever we're doing with the client, and it's not in their interest to sabotage themselves, of course, then we need to sneak that suggestion in. Realize that although this may sound quite manipulative, it's for the client's benefit. I mean, a chiropractor will manipulate a patient, but it's for the client's benefit. It always has to be for the client's benefit. Of course, we're therapists. So amnesia is a way of preventing the client from thinking or remembering the suggestions that we've given. Because if they remember them clearly and they have a personality where they like to untangle things and analyze what you've been doing, they may undo the good work. So we create an amnesia for that particular suggestion. Now here I'm not talking about amnesia techniques, I'm talking about the concept of delivering a double bind and creating, or wrapping in James language, wrapping an amnesia around it so the client cannot remember the double bind. If they cannot remember the double bind, they can't untangle it. And so they can't sabotage it. They can't doubt it. It's just accepted. What happens when you create an amnesia, of course, it doesn't destroy the effectiveness of the suggestion whether it's a double bind or even a direct suggestion. It doesn't destroy it. What it does, it creates a blanket over it where the conscious mind, actually this side, the conscious mind's here, normally, the conscious mind cannot recall it, cannot go back and unravel it. So the unconscious mind is able to then process that suggestion, work on it, respond to it, and make it become a reality out there in the world, which is where therapy really happens. In a therapeutic context, you just initiate the changes, and they start to happen in the room, but the real changes happen when the client engages with the reality which in the past used to cause them problems, but now no longer does so. Okay, James, I hope that answers your question. And if any of you have any questions, just let me know. I'd be very happy to ask them. Ask them? Answer them. Oh dear, I've been doing this too long. Thank you very much.